Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to our apostles and elders. Her great millstone, peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. So more stories and more stories just come out proving that the Bible is correct on the prophecy. And this is much evident that we are living in the end of days, as the scripture says that all things have a beginning and the end is manifest. The word manifest is that it's made known. The things you hear about that go on today or recently can only be explained by biblical prophecy, as people will start to look to the news and people will start to look and examine what's going on, and what they realize is that pure love, or you would say, or love in general, is fading from this place. It's gone, in a sense. Like, so if we just cover some news that was covered just this week, right? Like yesterday I covered what happened over here in St. Louis at an Amazon workplace, where these two jakes got into a fight and one ended up killing the other. And you can watch the video, you can clearly see that it could have all been easily avoided. And they apparently was fighting over a woman that works there, not even their wives, not the mother of the children or nothing, just a regular random warehouse broad. And you watch the whole thing, and in the end you conclude that the man lost his life for nothing. And then you also got stories like this. Like I said, this is just all what happened this week. It said dad kills his 4-year-old son after boy asks him to leave bedroom during an argument. So this man shot his own son in the head because while him and his wife had an argument, he said to leave. He killed him. And I'll read this. This is Yahweh Shai. This is what he spoke. This is Matthew 24 verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. He's talking about the latter times, which these are the times that we're living in. You can't explain the things you hear nowadays except that this is love fading away from the earth. These people are blowing away their own flesh and blood and killing senselessly for nothing. And it points back to biblical times, and when you have understanding of the scriptures, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai actually revealed to us that reason. And part of that reason is because that we as creatures, and that we're born from the earth, since the evil seed was first sown with Adam, it has grown into a very evil and wicked tree. And as time progresses, it progressively gets weaker. I mean, the tree gets great and great. And this is why we're in the time of evil. So this is why, and I'm going to read it, but he basically says, there can't any good be sown here, because this shit has to first be taken away. So it's going to get worse, and it all has to crash and burn before goodness can be brought forth. So this is why Yahweh Shai is absolutely needed in the earth, because love actually has to be restored. So 2 Ezra chapter 14, this is him talking to Ezra. Verse 13, it says, now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. Right? Because he says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. So you see, as time progresses, the world becomes weaker through age. We're the creatures, we come from the earth. And like Yahweh Shai said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So as time progresses, the evil seed that was sown amongst Adam, and because the wicked are in rulership, more evils shall increase upon them that dwell therein. That's the time that we're living in now, and that's why he told Ezra even back then Don't be concern yourself about mortal thoughts of the weak nature. Your primary focus that you should be meditating on is being safe and being delivered in these evil times. There's plenty of things we could sit and harp on all the day long, like, our upbringing. And like, man, if only I just had this growing up. If only I had that growing up. Oh man, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be this old this year, and I still ain't even got this going. I still ain't even got that going. Man, it had only things went different for me. If my parents did this, or I really lost that woman. I really like that woman, and I wonder if I ever get her back. All these things that are irrelevant to what's coming, the things that are pending for this place. These things, it'll come across your mind, but you can't meditate on those things. You gotta let it go and be concerned about what's happening, because when you read stories like this, it's just gonna remind you, like, man, this shit is over with, bro. Love is gone. So truly, the things you're meditating on, what kind of future do you think you're gonna have in this place? Because it's not gonna prolong. It's gonna be over with real soon. So if you go to 2 Esdras chapter 4, verse 28, it says, "But as concerning the things whereof thou asked me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come." Right. So it's gonna get worse. So like, if we go to, I'm gonna keep reading, but if like, here's another story, right? Like I said, this is just this week. It says, Houston man who called girlfriend while he killed their daughter, convicted of capital murder. In the description it says, quote, "Her smile could light up anyone's darkest days. A man who killed his 2-year-old daughter while FaceTiming her mother and grandfather was convicted of murder." This is what's happening nowadays. I mean, just look at him. No, that man has no soul. That man has nothing inside. When Yahushua said wax cold, this is what he means. Just people with just empty vessels, no warmth inside. Because when you call somebody cold or cold-hearted, you indicating that they aren't alive, right? Like, because your body has that warmth. So if somebody's cold, then that means that they have passed on or they're dead. So if somebody cold-hearted, you say, "Hey man, you ain't got no heart." And that's the image of a man who got no heart. Okay, this is the kind of stories you hear of men and women doing this to their own children. So what are these thoughts you meditating on? You worrying about a future? What are these things you're really concerned about when these people are evil like this? People killing one another over stupid, senseless arguments and fights. People losing their lives over this. And then just a week ago, the week before that, you heard a story about the guy that stabbed the older Jake, stabbed the other Jake to death, and they were arguing over football. And all that could have been avoided. And mind you, that younger Jake, he was a fool anyway, because first of all, you're trying to step to your senior to fight over something stupid. But the older Jake clearly didn't have the sense either, because he said, "Look, let's go around the corner and then we could fight." So they went into a alleyway to fight, and that's why that's going to be his murder, because you have a weapon on you and you intended on using it. So you can't claim self-defense because you wanted to use it. But you see, you would think neither one of y'all has sense and y'all gonna fight over something stupid like that. These are the kind of stories that you hear about. So what exactly are the thoughts that's bothering you? Senseless, mindless thoughts, man? It should be more concerned about hastening the coming of day, because the evils are ramping up. So back in 2 Esdras chapter 4, it says, "If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. For the grain of evil seed had been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. And how much ungodliness had it brought up until this time? And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come?" And Ezra was on the scene approximately 500 years before Yahushua. So we're talking over 2,000 years ago. And that level of evil even during the time of Yahushua was considered high. That's why when Yahushua spoke about these things, about nation rising up against nation, earthquakes in diverse places, to them that sparked fear. That said, man, really? Is it really going to be that bad? Really? But now to us, this is everyday news. So you see, we basically gotten to the point where we're desensitized about evil things, because earthquakes happening all over the place every day, fires, and we're talking about stuff that's actually happening, right? People getting killed. Like, this is just normal news to us, and it's gonna get worse. So things have only been getting worse, as the Lord said, because the world is getting weaker and the creatures are becoming weaker and of less stature. So these people out here, they have short fuses out here. So don't think, like I mentioned, the road rage, right? The natural, if somebody cut you off or if somebody do something stupid, you might want to zoom next to them just to look at them crazy, all the other stuff. Man, if you try to catch yourself and just remember the type of people you're dealing with. These people are crazy out here. And a lot of people lose their lives over senseless road rage. So you just have to remember, these people have a lot of short fuses. They don't have the same level of reasoning as you. They don't have, they just cold. So you got to keep your guard up and your defenses up and know how to move and operate as harmless doves and sheep, because these people are really evil. So where conflict can be avoided, it's best to be avoided. I'm talking about out there in the wild, okay? Because you see things that just, these people, man, they just turn into cold, man. Right? With that, shalom.